So, we are back with the Pokemon Y Hardcore Nuzlocke, using only poison types. And we actually have something important that we need to take care of right at the start here. Because we're only guaranteed one really dangerous battle today. I've got a couple of things that I want to get through, but we're just gonna see how far we can go here. That said, for the one major battle that we have, I want to pick up a certain item that I don't believe I have yet. And I'm actually going to double check this because, as everyone who's watching this knows, I forget things. Yeah, so at the moment, what we're hunting for is a tree with purple berries, because there's a specific berry that we want to get a hold of. Oh! Okay, we've actually got one of the berry that we want to get a hold of, but I am going to go ahead and get a couple more if I can. So I'm not sure if I've managed to I'm not sure if I've managed to get as many of them as I need. Okay, we got a second Piapa berry. So this is already going faster than I might have hoped. Because those Piapa berries give us a one-time damage reduction to the damage we take from a psychic type move. And that's going to be important because as soon as we head to the next available route, we're going to run into a rival fight. And our rival now has a Delphox, which is psychic type. And I have a plan that should make this pretty reliable. But it depends on having one of our Pokemon hold a Piapa berry. Now, Desi, if you would be so kind as to fly us just a little ways, just so I don't have to navigate the city, which I honestly hate trying to do because it's so desperately confusing. So, there are two main parts to this strategy. The first is that we're going to give Pendra here a Piapa berry. The second is that we're actually going to go ahead and teach Dig to Mephi. The reason I want Dig is pretty simple. So, normally I would just go for a dark type move against, as its attacking move into Delphox, but more than likely, before Delphox comes out, we're going to have to fight the Absol. And Absol is a little bit too strong, I think, for us to one-shot with a dark-type move, because it's also dark-type. And a critical hit from Absol's slash attack could be really bad. go with that. That minimizes our fire weakness. So now, if we switch Pendra into the lead position and go ahead and replace Mephi's Thief with Dig, I'm replacing Thief because we can easily relearn it from a TM, and because I think we're going to learn Night Slash pretty soon here. But yeah, now if we replace Thief with Dig, oh, heck. Now we're pretty much ready, because since Mephi knows Hone Clause, and the only move our rival's Meowstic can use to damage Mephi is Disarming Voice, we actually have a pretty safe setup here, where we can boost up with Hone Clause to get enough damage to one-shot the two Pokemon in the back, and then attack with Mephi. And we don't even really need to worry much about over-leveling, because it's really unlikely that we use Mephi in the upcoming gym. Okay. So, by spamming through that long text spiel from a totally background character, we managed to get the King's Rock. Oh, fun fact. This person says, I'll have my 5 million Pokédollars saved soon. That is a reference to how much it costs to get into Team Plasma. If you give him $5 million, he will let you in. Well, the leader of Team Plasma, whoever the heck that is, will let you in. Okay. Now, with all of that said, we are going to visit a couple of extra places if we can. Because there are at least a couple of items that we can find in the section of Lumio City that has now opened up. The most important of which, at least from the ones that I can remember, is the Expert Belt, which gives us a better matchup into anything we can hit super effectively. So these people sell fancy Pokeballs. Actually, I'm going to pick up some Dusk Balls, some Quick Balls, and some Timer Balls. As much as I hate spending that much money when there are TMs that we could buy. Oh, we got Heal Balls too. Not as important, but still nice to have. But yeah, while there are TMs that we can buy, I don't want to miss out on those. And funnily enough, most of the Pokeballs that you see in these cabinets are not Pokeballs that we can even buy. There's a Master Ball and a Love Ball over there. I see a Heavy Ball and a Safari Ball at the back. A few others, like so many Pokeballs that we cannot buy. Oh, let's wander down the back alley. I've actually got a reason for doing that, but also it just seems like a poor choice, which makes it kind of funny. Okay, apparently that place is going to have a tenant. And we can't eat at that restaurant yet. I I think we probably have to be champion. See, the reason I'm trying to avoid going onto the main streets is that I have to deal with the loading if I go onto the main streets, and yeah, there aren't too... All of these intersections are a single space. All of the outer sections are a pair of spaces, the south and northern portion. So, by avoiding the outer sections, we can avoid some of the loading time. Has nothing to do with strategy, I just get bored watching loading screens. What's in here? Who are you? Yeah, y'all can probably tell just how janky the controls in these areas are. Oh, I think this might be... Or is this the Poetry Cafe? Yeah, we're not gonna bother with the Poetry Cafe. Yeah, sure, I'll give you a tip. I actually have no idea what the tipping does, but I do it because I think that there is some impact, like a couple of the stores might use it to determine if you can shop there. Yeah, we haven't really been visiting any of the boutiques. We haven't really changed our look. Probably should. I should probably take some time in between streams one of these days to look up to get a more toxic look. Yeah, I don't need any of those. Yeah, so this guy sells Mega Evolution Stones. But we've only got one Pokemon that we can get during this run that's capable of Mega Evolution, at least in this game, and we've already got the stone for that. Cheaper stuff elsewhere. That's just for a Frusalon. And these people just seem to be talking about their Furfru. I promise I'm not just ignoring the plot deliberately. I really want to find that expert belt, but I am far too lazy to look up which building it's in. And also, I figure someone might enjoy seeing Lumio City. Okay, well, now we're going to work our way around the route. I think this is this is the train station. I don't think there's anything of use in here. At least not until the post-game. Oops. Yeah, I've never made a trainer PR video. What do you have to say? I think this might be the place. Could just stop. Stay put. See, we're looking for the building with the fighting dojo. Oh, and we got a prism scale. That's useless. Even if we were in a run where we could hypothetically get Feebas, I wouldn't bother doing so. Because Feebas was deliberately designed to be absurdly frustrating to get. Fun fact, you can actually go to that hotel we were just in, and you can use it to grind for money if you're playing through the game and you need it. I don't think it's especially fast, but and that little girl is apparently an artist. Sorry, I'm literally just wandering around to see if I can pick up any items. Oh, that is actually fantastic. Look at that guy, he's got a little Mew. Oh, that's glorious. Could we... Ah, jeez. Okay, so we're still on the North Boulevard. What do you have to say? You have TMs by any chance? No, you don't. This could be it. pretty sure it's in one of these skyscrapers. Oh yeah, this event. Yeah, we come out of the hotel and this creepy ghost girl just kind of appears. Yeah, she walks into the room, and then if we look around, she is nowhere to be seen. There is no reason for that, nor is there an explanation in-game. Ah, I think this is it. There we go. Expert Belt. So Expert Belt gives us a boost to the damage of super effective moves. It's a really good option if we have like 2 moves that we're going to be making use of that are super effective into the opponent's team, as opposed to just one, in which case it's easier to just use a type boosting berry. Yep. Okay. That is Route 13. I think what we need is Route 14. So actually, welcome to the stream, Cindafe. How's it going? Okay. So we have this rival fight, and normally it would be pretty dangerous, but I think I've got a pretty solid plan into it. My Scolipede is holding a Payapa berry, which will reduce the damage of 1 psychic type move. So we have to take a fake out. That does next to nothing, so I'm not too worried there. Then we're going to set up an agility, and for some reason it's choosing to go for disarming voice. But we only need 1 agility, so I'm going to go ahead and baton pass out. You just hatched a really good Pokemon? Yeah, what was it? Ha. And now for the Pokemon that is hopefully going to single-handedly win this match against the rival. We're going to start setting up Hone Claws. And all this thing can do to us is use Disarming Voice, which should make this pretty free. Especially since we're holding a Black Sludge. Okay. Ooh, that is nice. Modest Togepi with Serene Grace. Yeah, Togekiss with Serene Grace is so ridiculously I don't even necessarily want to say ridiculously strong, but it is ridiculously annoying. Like, it is strong. It has solid bulk and a really great type combo. But it's hard to beat the level of annoying that Togekiss pulls off. And now we're actually going to be at full health when the Absol comes out, assuming at least that this Dig is a one-shot. I went with Dig because I want to one-shot the Absol in order to avoid any potential crits. See, even at +6, that thing somehow managed to beat us. Because, surprisingly, Mephie's attack isn't all that crazy. I haven't really invested in it. Yeah, so it can get Flamethrower by TM. It also gets Flamethrower when it evolves. So Mephie actually has Flamethrower. And I'm being careful not to replace it with anything while I still don't have the TM. Here, I'll show you. Oh, crap. I didn't realize. Oh, the Togepi line. I thought you were talking about Mephie here. Yes, I did know that it gets Flamethrower. It's Fire-type moves are really solid coverage for flying types because steel types are such a problem. Which actually is one of the big draws, especially with that nice 20% chance to burn thanks to Serene Grace. I forgot to turn off the experience share. Why did I have the experience share on? Let's see now. Okay, so now we're up against the Absol. And it's the reason we're running Dig and not a Dark-type stab. Because I'm really hopeful that Dig will one-shot since it's not resisted. It does a little bit more damage than... it does a little bit more damage than Thief would. So we got the one-shot, and that means that we can avoid any troublesome crits from Absol. And at +6, Dig should be an easy one-shot against Delphox, who we outspeed thanks to that agility that Pendra passed to us. Yeah, they were honestly really supportive of Togekiss with the coverage. Sully, should I have you learn Acid Spray? You know what? Considering you're a defensive Pokemon, that is probably a lot more reliable. Okay, so by playing that smart, we were able to get a safe win. Oh, and it's raining, that's kind of neat. I think there's a hidden item around here somewhere. Oh, yep. Okay, that's one. And we can go down the slide, as is the custom. I mean, Togepi can do whatever Togepi wants, really. No one's gonna question that little egg. Nope, not organized items, organized boxes. Let's see here. Who do we want in the team for the upcoming route? Just gotta skim through this real quick. Now, one thing to be aware of is that we are going to make sure to use repels as we pass through Route 14. And that's important because Route 14 is the home to 4 different poison types, none of which we have encountered previously. 5 if you count Bellsprout and Weepinbell as separate. However, only one of those Pokemon is a Pokemon that we're guaranteed to encounter later, just because it's the only poison type in Frost Cavern, and one of those Pokemon is only... one of those Pokemon we can guarantee if we're careful with using Dupes Clause. Jubilee or Festivia? I feel like Festivia is a little bit more original, but Jubilee sounds a little bit more like a normal name, so... yeah. Take those thoughts for what you will. We're going to add Ivan to the team. And... I mean, they're both good, honestly. I think I already healed, actually. How many... oh, not you. How many repels do I have? I have 7. We'll grab 3 more real quick. It's not a big deal. And now... luckily it's raining, which makes Al ridiculously strong in this area. Okay. Let's start by... where is my repel? Super repel, here we go. Oh, and we got a cleanse tag. You know, in the grand scheme of things, I think I'm just... oh. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and fight this trainer, despite the fact that she is avoidable. She really doesn't pose a threat to us, especially since Al is in rain. And her second Pokemon in the back is a fire type. Fiesta could be fun. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just trying to keep an eye out on what is in the encounters up ahead. Nothing too scary, to be honest. What does a level 34 Haunter have? Just Dark and Ghost moves. Okay, that's really nothing to worry about. Yeah. What about the level 46 Fracture? 36 Fracture. That one we're going to want to be careful with because it learns Dragon Dance and Dragon Claw. So that sounds like a really good time to send out something that can hit it fast and hard. If we even have to get into that fight. No. We're not going to have Al learn Poison Jab. Al is a special attacker. This guy, however, just has a Goomy. So I'm not exactly worried here. Switch through Ivan to pick up some spare experience. And then Gale could be fun. Less of the happiness theme, but we took a surprising amount of damage that battle, considering that was literally a Goomy. Oh, we don't have a Cherry Berry, but we do have... Hold up. Here we go. Oh, it means jovial or pleasant? Huh. I didn't actually realize that. I only knew the strong winds version. I feel like I encounter her every single time I walk through here. It's always an accident and it's always annoying, so this time I'm going to go ahead and encounter her on purpose and promptly realize that I forgot I don't have a dark type move on my dark type. Luckily, this thing just can't touch me. It has 2 dark type attacks and 2 ghost type attacks, neither of which will cause any concern to Mephi. And now I'll take that as a reminder to go back and take care of Mephi's moveset real quick. Alright, there's Thief. Mephi, if you would be so kind as to relearn Thief in place of Dig, because quite frankly, we don't really need you to know Dig. That was kind of a one battle type of thing. Okay, so I think this Pokemon Ranger might be the guy. Yeah, this is the guy with the fracture, so if we can avoid him, we will. Because I really don't feel like fighting a Dragon Dancing Fracture. I think we already had a Rosalie Berry from somewhere. I wish I had Cut on one of my team members right now, but oh well. Oh, I forgot to redo my team order. I'm not exactly worried here, though. This is a fairy-type trainer. We've got a team of poison types. We hard counter everything they're carrying. Oh my. Did more damage than I expected thanks to Endeavor. So yeah, it's probably going to keep spamming that, but it can't knock us out with that. And we will get the KO with this next move thanks to the drop from the first hit. So what gym are you... Oh. What gym are you going for at this point? Damp rock. You know what occurs to me? I don't think I've ever just tried to bypass the haunted house and go straight... Okay, they do force me to go. So what gym are you coming up on now with your Togekiss? No, we're not gonna tip the guy that basically just tried to mug us. Okay. So we will come back here and grab this spell tag, which I think boosts the power of ghost type moves. Might come in handy at some point. And just like that, we're in Laver City. We're not going to use another repel quite at the moment, but we will use a repel here shortly. Because we are going to backtrack. We're approaching the dark type gym. Yeah, there's... I mean, I suppose Pierre's Skuntank could cause some issues. I don't actually remember if it carries any poison-type moves. But the rest should be pretty doable for Togekiss. So as long as you plan for the Skuntank, it should be a pretty easy battle. There you are, TM Slave. The X and Y games I enjoy. I like them for Nuzlocke because of the variety of encounters. They're not the hardest games, which does sometimes make it a little bit less satisfying, and I almost forgot to repel. It does sometimes make it a bit less satisfying when you're running through really difficult encounter, or when you're running through a lot of the game, which is why it's important if you're playing it. I recommend being careful what challenges you go for, because it can be really fun to steamroll a challenge, but personally I find it more satisfying to play through a game in a way that maintains the challenge pretty well throughout. You Okay, so this is where I get those items. That's good to know. Now let's do a quick hunt through the town to see what items people just decide to give this kid that randomly walks into their home. Oh, that guy tells a story, I guess, after nightfall or during sunset or something. Oh, hey! We got a TM for Torment. That could actually come in handy, and I'm pretty sure a decent number of our Pokemon can learn it. This guy's gonna stop me, isn't he? No? Someone in here is gonna stop me. Ah. Team Flare is gonna stop me. Gotcha. Well, I suppose there has to be some plot control. It's funny, I remember back in Kanto, you have so much freedom to choose the order of gyms. It's actually really hilarious. Like, you can just kind of ignore a couple of the gyms and come back to them later. And of course in Pokemon in Hoenn, you can actually just completely bypass the flying type gym until it's time to go to the Elite Four. And we got a Gengar right, actually. So I need to look into it. I'm not certain. I'm not certain how to set it up to evolve trade evolutions. Oh. Nah, I don't really need a badge reader. So yeah, back here is the Pokeball factory. I'm pretty sure we can't go in yet, but we can fire this thing up. What was I saying? Can you remember? Because I can't. Oh, yeah. We can catch a Haunter in this run. One of the reasons that we repelled our way through the last route was because there's a later area where the only poison type encounters a Haunter. Meaning we can trigger dupes for at least one of the Pokemon in that area. And I think we should actually, by careful maneuvering, be able to trigger dupes for another Pokemon in that area as well. Oh, hang on. Huh, I didn't even know there was an item there. I was just walking around carrying this. So, it should be somewhat safe. We can make our encounter there more reliable and have a little bit better control over what Pokemon we get if we handle some of the routes ahead of us first. But that does mean no new encounters before this gym. Luckily, this gym shouldn't take too long, and the level cap isn't very far away. Alright. Just want the trainer list up in front of me. So it looks like the only person in here with a psychic fairy type leads with a clef key. So we should be able to dodge that pretty safely. Use the clef key to work things out. I am going to go ahead and deliberately encounter some Pokemon. Oh, where is Poison Jab? Yeah. Pendra, if you would be so kind as to drop X Scissor for Poison Jab, that would be just very helpful. And Mephi? Yeah, I realize you haven't used Thief since the last time I retaught it to you, but, well, now you're learning Poison Jab. Okay. So, Pendra should make pretty quick work of this thing. And it's a Zoomeril in the back. Yeah. Like the grass and fighting type gyms, this one really shouldn't be that tricky. And we're not going to bother learning Steamroller. Okay, and this girl has an Aromatisse. Honestly, in my experience, this is one of the easiest gyms in this game. In my height lock, I swept it with a Charmander. It's not actually that it should be as easy as it is, but there is a the gym leader leads with Mawile, and Mawile doesn't have any stab moves, which makes it absurdly easy to take advantage of. Really? The accuracy drop. Let's see if we can get through the Curlia without... There you go. I'm gonna switch into Sully to shake off the stat drop. Yeah, the Mawile is just really easy to take advantage of for getting things set up, which really trivializes a lot of this fight. And I think I know what I want to do for the gym leader, but let's just see if I can actually make my way there first, because we are going to back out of that fight before we actually face the gym leader. Oh. I thought we had already beaten everything in here, but I was incorrect. I will say these are very pretty games. Like, as far as Pokemon games go, X and Y are some of the really nice looking ones. Yeah, acid spray. And yes, it can use Energy Ball, but my special defense is absurd, to put it simply. Okay, so that's how we get to the gym leader. Oh, come on, really? You're not going to unlock that? Alright, let's figure out our way back. Hang on. I think it was faster to go the other way. Okay, I think I know the way through now. So we'll pop in here for a quick heal. And now we'll duck out somewhere for some quick grinding. I'm thinking if we fly over to Cormarine City, that should give us plenty of what? That should give us some decently strong wild Pokemon to face. Oh, if I can actually manage to remember which person to talk to get through here. Ah, jeez. I always get caught on these. I always get caught on those little passages, the little stands. Oh, and let's turn on the experience share. Let's see. So yeah, the plan into the next gym leader is actually really straightforward. It's basically just two parts. First, we set up toxic spikes, then we sweep with Venoshock. I'll have a couple of spare Pokemon in the back with Venoshock ready as well, but I'm not really convinced that we'll need them. I honestly think there's a really good chance that we'll be able to clear this entire upcoming gym with just Al here. Actually, we might want to play it safe. You know what? As dumb as this is, I do think I'm just going to slap a Piapa Berry on Al for the Mr. Mime, because honestly it can't do much to me before I take it out if that's what I've got. yeah. Once that's taken care of, we can make our way past that town, pick up a few encounters, including going through Frost Cavern, where we should be able to pick up a Haunter, as well as taking on one of the Flare Grunts, or Admins, one of the two, and that should be about all it takes. I don't know how far we'll get during this stream. We might stop before the Psychic Gym Leader, we might not. I think the encounters are at least a little bit better here in the Yellow Flowers as far as the amount of experience we're getting. At some point pretty soon here, we're gonna have to swap Al to the back of the party. Yeah, Electro Ball can be a pretty terrifying move. Unless, of course, the Pokemon using it is slower than its target. Kind of crazy to think that rest was actually used even before Chesto Berries existed. Chesto Berries and abilities like Natural Cure, stuff like that, to avoid the sleep turns. Ivan, we're gonna have you keep the moves that you currently have. And I'm really surprised we didn't get paralyzed there. I really thought we were about to. At some point this evening, I actually have to go and watch the stuff from the Nintendo Direct that happened this morning. I haven't actually gotten around to any of it. Of course, the only part of it that... Actually, there are two things that I know about that genuinely excite me. So it looks... Because we got a release date for the sequel to Breath of the Wild. I think they said it was called like Tears of the Kingdom or something. So that's pretty great. And then of course well, I don't know if this is an of course to anyone else, but they announced Octopath Traveler 2, and that actually sounds really exciting. I really enjoyed what I've played of Octopath Traveler 1. I might even stream it at some point because honestly, I need to actually beat that game instead of just leaving it the way I have so far. I keep getting far into it and then not actually finishing it because there is a lot going on, but I feel like if I streamed it, I could stay focused a little bit better. Of course, I'm a big part of what I like about Octopath Traveler is the art style. I feel like that's probably true for most people who have played it because it honestly is just such a charming art style. And the music doesn't hurt either because it's pretty fantastic music. How am I still not paralyzed? That was your last chance, Miltank. Al is switching to another space in the party now that it's out of Serfs. Now, Ollie, if you wouldn't mind. I find it funny that despite having growth on it, I've never actually used growth on all. I've never actually had Ollie use growth. We just haven't had many situations where a setup sweep with my grass type was the right strategy. It might have actually been a decentish strategy had things gone bad when we were facing Grant, but they didn't, so... some point between sessions, between streams as well, I need to hop on here and swing by a few places on the map that I can reach now that I have Surf in order to snag some TMs, because I'm pretty sure there are at least a couple of decent ones that I can get a hold of now that I can Surf. Apart from the ones that we picked up from Azure Bay. Desi, I'm gonna have you handle this one. I forgot. Desi only has to do one thing in battle, and that's just click acrobatics, because it's such a ridiculously good move. Okay, Ollie is up to level 40. Al is 41, and Ivan is 40. I'm starting to think that trees don't spawn when we're in grassy areas, or when we're in the flower areas, which I didn't actually expect. I'm just not gonna bother with these guys. Desi could one-shot them all with an air cutter, but that would require not getting confused by Supersonic on the switch-in. And I think we all know just how much the game loves to use that move. You know, at some point I do think that we're going to manage to pick up another grass type, which might give me another Pokemon that I can make use of for moves like Sweet Scent and Worry Seed. That could actually save a good bit of trouble with keeping certain moves on Ivan and Ollie. Yeah, Grass Knot is single target. Bye, Marie. Really? That was kind of rude, Chatot. How is it getting this accurate? Sleep is like 55 or 60% accurate. I wonder where I get the Rocky helmet in this game, because that would be good on Sully. Yeah, I didn't think I could one-shot it. You know what, we're just not gonna bother with that thing. I don't actually even know if it's as much experience as the Miltanks and Tauros. I understand that there were like a lot of farming games announced in the Nintendo Direct. And I don't know what the deal is. I can really only think of one farming game that I've ever gotten especially into, and that was Stardew Valley. You know, gotten into Minecraft and farms in that, but well, that's not quite a farming game so much as a game that has farming, if that makes sense. Phil Bates could learn Nasty Plot, but I'm not going to go for that quite at the moment. I might at some point if I need a special sweeper for something, but I don't predict that right away, and right now Phil is trained as a physical attacker. Really? Watch it. I really thought it was going to get another 5-hit Fury attack. Yeah, I need to look at how to evolve trait evolutions for emulator, for Pokemon games played on an emulator. I think I can do it if I download a randomizer and make that the only change to the randomizer. but it could also be too late. Either way, Haunter is an excellent Pokemon, so there's no reason not to use the encounter, even if I can't evolve it. But I don't think I've ever used a Gengar. I know there's a wild Gengar in the Safari Zone, but I also don't think I've ever caught it. Okay, let's switch up the team real quick. I'm not bothering pushing everything close to the level cap for the next gym, just because I really don't think we need it, and it'll give us a bit more flexibility after the gym. Actually kind of surprised that Pendra couldn't one-shot that thing. Would you mind getting the poison? You would mind, apparently. Oh, and Al just hit level 42, so we're going to backtrack again. Luckily in speed up mode, it doesn't take that long to get back to the Pokemon Center and do this stuff. Really? How many of these things are we going to run into? They're just not worth the time. There we go. Something that gives enough XP to be worth actually attacking. How much training I've given to Pendra's attack stat. I should look into that, because at this point, now that Phoebe is retired, it might be worth going all in on attack and speed with Pendra. Then again, she does kind of focus on baton passing. Kind of funny how Tauros is going scary face, then hitting its scary face, then payback, because payback would be better if Tauros was going second. Desi wants to learn Poison Fang. Desi, as much fun as that would be, Bite is better coverage. And you know what? To help her stay in the loop while we're training here, since we have room in the team, I think I will go ahead and add Phoebe to the team. She won't actually get used in battle, but I'll be happy to have her around. She has a lonely nature, but I'm not sure if that's because she prefers to be alone or because she tends to be alone. So obviously, both kinds exist. I am the former. Alright, let's see here. Dang, we outsped it even after a sword stance? Okay, now we're getting to the point where we're just going to be taking out the Pokemon that hit the level cap. Oh, you know what? Before I forget, there is actually something else we can do here. Let's take the TM quiz. Slower Pokemon get to move first for 5 turns. That would be Trick Room. There are 4 of those TMs, and we've got 2 of them. Oh, and there go Phil and Sulfie. And Sully. You know, there's a part of me that really wants to play up the theme of toxicity with, you know, the lore that I come up with for these characters, but another part of me is just a bit too lazy to actually do so. And also, I just find Pokemon to be a generally chill game. Oh, that wasn't what I meant to do. There we go. That was what I meant to do. Oh yes, we're learning Night Slash. Yeah, let's go ahead and drop Home Clause for now. I don't really anticipate needing... Home Clause for the gym battle, because I don't think we're going to need to bring in Mephi. Can we finish this thing off with Faint? Yes, we can. I do appreciate having Night Slash now. It's nice to have a good, reliable Dark-type stab move that's a little bit stronger than Thief, at least. And the high crit rate doesn't hurt. Unless you're fighting against it, in which case, as everyone who has ever fought Commander Jupiter in one of the Sinnoh games knows, it does hurt. It really does. Oh, come on. Really? You had to paralyze us? You can't even do enough damage to make use of that paralysis. Like, I'm still healing basically everything with Black Sludge. All you accomplished there, Pachirisu, was wasting everyone's time. I know you're frustrated that your champion days are over and never going to come again, but gotta move on. Let's see now. If you wouldn't mind getting the poison, thank you. That saved us a turn. You know what we're gonna do, actually? Turn off the experience share. Stop by the Pokemon Center real quick. Load up the team that I think makes the most sense into well, most of the team that makes the most sense. I don't actually think we'll be taking Desi in there. But we need Desi to fly. Miffy, we're gonna put you up front. Heal up the team. And if we fly on back to Lavaire, we can actually get one really quick trainer battle. Using a repel to keep things safe. Oh. And here I thought there was a train. That was going to be a trainer battle. Well, we're not going to get a random trainer battle against the person with the dragon dancing, with the dragon dancing fracture, so back this way it is. And, yeah, there we go. Hell wore off. Should only be another battler. Well, maybe a few, but... Oh. I meant to hit Night Slash. And I got punished for Fat Finger. Joke's on you, all of my moves are attacking moves right now. There we go. So now we can head to Lavaire for our next gym badge. And this shouldn't take too long. We are going to swap... should we swap in Toxicroak? Or potentially Roserade? You know what? Grand scheme of things, I genuinely don't think it really matters that much who we bring along here. We've got the Payapa Berry in case the opponent survives a move with Mr. Mime. We have Toxic Spikes, and we have Venoshock, like... Oh, wrong way. Also wrong way. Let's see now. And, just like that, here we are. Yeah, I don't think there's much question. I'm fairly confident we've got a team that can handle this pretty safely. So obviously the Toxic Spikes won't affect Mawile, simply because it's already out, but also because it is Steel type. But spamming Surf is enough to get through. Even 2 crits from Crunch I don't think would have cleared us. And now that what's coming in is poisoned, we can fire off 1 Venoshock and 2 Venoshocks. Oh! You know, I really didn't expect that Sylveon to actually survive that. We'll drop an acid spray to make sure the next Venoshock clears. You know, I am impressed. That was marginally more difficult than the grass and fighting gyms, in that I had to hit multiple buttons. But there we go. And now... why does it keep suddenly starting to rain in areas that I'm in? Let's see what's coming up once we head to the Pokeball Factory to the north. So I know it's just some Team Grunt stuff, or Team Flare Grunt stuff. I think I'm going to go ahead and switch out Poison Ivan for Phil Bates. I think that's probably the smart strategy here. Because fighting type coverage will be useful into a decent number of the Team Flare people. And these guys... oh, they distracted Team Flare. So now we can go in and deal with Team Flare. Let's see. So up first is a Toxicroak, which makes this a great matchup for Desi to handle literally by herself, because there's nothing that this thing can do that will actually frighten her. Oh. Okay, looks like it was not the first one. There we go. You know, I'm actually vaguely impressed with, like, random NPCs that happen to have a Toxicroak, because it's actually really difficult to have a Krogunk survive long enough to become Toxicroak. Okay, this guy has a Golbat and a Mightyena. You know what? We'll just skip him. For some reason, a lot of indoor areas in this game, even like some of the ones where even a lot of indoor areas in this game, you can't use items, even items that really shouldn't be an issue to use indoors, like the dowsing rods. Alright, let's send in Phil Bates. And there we go. Ooh, and we got a metal coat. I don't know if we'll have a use for steel-type moves at any point in this, but if we do, I'll be happy to have that around. See, I have a tendency to remember a lot of things about Pokemon, but none of those things are where items are hidden in the game. Oh, that's neat. So we can switch up the conveyor belt, I think, yeah. There are people in here. Oh, and we can get a quick rest. Fletchling, thank you for moving. That's nice. Oh, it's just a testament to how good of a Pokemon Desi is. When you think about the fact that so many issues in this game can be solved just by pressing acrobatics repeatedly sometimes. Okay, so now if we hop on the conveyor belt, we can get here. And in this room, I think we have a fight with an admin and then a double battle with against an admin with our rival helping us, like against a couple of admins, if I'm reading this right. Either way, I think I'm going to go ahead and switch Pendra up front. So, we've got a generic Team Flare admin. The fact that they managed to make the admins somehow generic, I don't understand. Now we're going to go ahead and baton pass out. And that baited the fire move, which got us a pretty safe switch in, so that we can one-shot with Al. Yeah, this gives us a moment to do something that I forgot to do earlier, which is swap Poison Jab back out for X-Scissor. Now, let's go. I love how in a situation where it would have actually been helpful for our rival to use Fake Out turn 1, they didn't. And now we will baton pass out real quick to Phil Bates, who has some ground coverage. And no, I don't really care that we're hitting the allied Pokemon. He actually gives both of us both. And now we're good to make some progress with the game again. Ah, here's where we go. I remember. If I could control my character. You know, if there's only one factory in the region that produces Pokeballs, it's kind of insane, because that's just an absolute monopoly. And here comes a special bulletin telling us about the events that we were just around. Why are they still hanging around in town? They were thwarted. People need to learn how to accept a good thwarting. Move on with some dignity. Need to check what's coming up on the route ahead. So on the route ahead, the plan is partly to use repels to avoid encounters once again, but this time it won't be for that long. We just need to get through the route to the next route. So up ahead is Route 16, or 15. If we can get to Route 16, then we can take care of... We can get an encounter that will activate Dupes Clause for us and save us a decent bit of trouble. So, all we really need to worry about here is the trainers. And there are actually some pretty tough trainers in this area. There's a trainer that has a Gabite, which will have both Dig and Dragon Claw. And someone with a Quagsire and a Beartic. So for that team alone, I do think that it's going to be a good idea for us to swap a grass type into the team real quick. Pendra, you can take a break. You did really well there. So yeah, we can break these little leaf piles. Some of them have items hidden inside them. And here we face this guy. I think I'm going to go ahead and switch to Phil. That was a crit. That was frankly kind of rude, but you know what, we'll just kill you and call it even. And this is a psychic type, so we're definitely gonna switch to Mephi. And Night Slash the crap out of them. I do really appreciate how fighting types tend to be so, or psychic types tend to be so physically frail. It saves a lot of the worry that I might otherwise have of using Mephi to hard counter so many of them. Because if they make use of their coverage, they can actually hit pretty hard. This guy has a Gabite. I don't actually have anything that's a crazy good matchup into this thing. So I'll start with a Giga Drain. If it goes... Okay, it went down. We don't have to worry about that again. And now... to use some more Repel magic. Okay, I think this double battle might be unavoidable. Mysterious Sisters Rune and Rhyme. They have a Drifblim and a Floette. The Floette isn't concerning at all, but we'll want some good stuff up front to deal with the Drifblim. So I'm thinking we'll go in there with Mephi and Desi. And a quick bite. And a quick Night Slash, doubling down on that Drifblim. Make it pretty safe. We do have to take some damage, I'm guessing, if it had Aftermath. But now, this battle is basically already over. Yeah, we didn't even need to hit it with something super effective. Acrobatics from Desi did the job just fine. Oh. Fairy-type Pokemon incoming. Let's go over to Ollie. Even though he doesn't have a Fairy-type move, he can still easily take down Dedenne. And then, you know what? We'll let Sully handle the Aromatisse. Oh, yay. We'll let someone female handle the Aromatisse. Because I really don't feel like playing around attraction for this battle. Even if it means we've got to take a couple of Moonblasts. We do have to be at least a little bit careful with our Pokemon because it can be kind of dangerous. We're at risk of over-leveling in this next section if we run into too many optional battles, I think. Okay. let's move you. And you onto the team. And now to go and get our next encounter. Oh, and we need to go back for an HM slave. Okay. And for the first time in a decent little bit, we actually just get to go and get an encounter. And we are going to try and get a horde encounter using Ivan's sweet scent. Because if we get the right horde encounter, which I don't think we're going to, since, yeah, I don't actually think we're dealing with clear skies here. I'm gonna keep clicking sweet scent on the off chance that we pick up a horde encounter. There's only one poison type that can be encountered in tall grass in this area. And we have found it. Now, it's not a horde encounter, so I really don't think there's... Yeah, this will have... It has effect spore. I would have preferred... I would have preferred if we had gotten a horde encounter so we could try and get regenerator on this thing. But as it stands, since it doesn't have regenerator, best odds are our little fungus here is just going to chill out in the Pokemon Center, or in the box, handling a Dupes Clause for us. With that said, time for a quick Google search. Most poisonous mushroom. You're female. You know what? I think we will name you after the Death Cab. Because it has a very fitting name. In the chat, y'all can see the Death Cap's scientific name is Amanita phaliotis. So, welcome to the run, Amanita. And now that we've gotten through that, I'm gonna double check the encounters on this route. Oh, hang on. Yeah, now that we've done that, we've activated dupes, meaning if we walk around in the grass, there's only one poison type that we can actually get as a valid encounter. And it's not Klefki. I actually really wanted a Klefki in my height lock. It would have been extremely useful, but oh well. And here we have one of the most powerful Pokemon that we're going to get in this run. I am going to open up with a quick ball. Because we're going to get that Skorupi. Oh wow, I didn't actually expect it to break out of there. Oh, I see what happened, Skorupi. You are a nice, proper lady. You want luxury. Actually, you know what? Before we catch you, I am going to switch into Ollie, because I want to know what your ability is. So we'll use Worry Seed. It has battle armor. Okay, this is pretty ideal. And now we'll switch into Ivan, because Ivan can damage this thing totally safely. There's no chance of a crit because it has battle armor, and we've got a nice quad resisted weak move that we can use against Skorupi. Wait, oh, it doesn't... I am so stupid. It doesn't have battle armor, folks. You know why? Because in the process of testing what ability it had, I changed its ability to Insomnia using my own move. Now, Skorupi, actually, you know what? If you would be so kind, we're going to waft a nice sweet scent in your direction, and then we're not going to put you to sleep because I gave you Insomnia. Jeez, I am countering myself. I am my own worst enemy when it comes to trying to catch Pokemon that I want on the team. Alright, let's see. Most poisonous Scorpion. I always spell scorpion wrong. The most venomous scorpion is the Deathstalker, belonging to the Buthidae family. Let's see. So, its name is Laurus quinquestriatus. I wonder if that's where they got the term quinque in Tokyo Ghoul. But here we have our next encounter. And here we have her name. And I think I'll call her Leu. Leu or Lei, one of the two. Okay. That is two very helpful encounters right there. Boring, you're going to learn Rock Smash real quick, okay? I'm just kidding. I don't care whether you're okay with it. I wonder if we actually get anything... The only thing we have that we'll get that I know can learn Will-O-Wisp is going to be our Haunter, which of course we still actually have to catch. There is another battle that we need to get, or another encounter that we need to get, though. Because you see, in addition to these two routes, we can also head down into here, down into the Lost Hotel, which is a derelict hotel that lets us get one more encounter. We are going to try and avoid trainers for the most part. And I am going to lead Desi, I think. Because Desi is fast enough to run away even from an Electrode. Oh, and we picked up the TM for Fling. That could actually be helpful if we run into any strong, sturdy Pokemon. Because we do have a King's Rock. And I shouldn't have run in front of this guy, but let's see what he's got. This thing probably has Flamethrower. I think our best bet is probably just going to be, yeah, to go crazy with Acrobatics. This we have counters for. Ivan, if you would be so kind. Oh, and we got a Protector, which we can't use because that's literally just used to evolve Rhydon into Rhyperior. I'm gonna have to time travel to a Thursday, aren't I? See, what we want here is to find some shaking trash cans. Yeah, give me a sec. Oh, and we're going to save before I start messing with this to be sure that I don't mess this up. Let's see now. Give me a moment. I think I actually have to turn off the game before I can fiddle with the date and time. Okay. I think that's what we want. So now, if we come back here, today should be a Thursday. Which should... I thought it should guarantee shaking trash cans. Give me a sec. If we head to the Lost Hotel... Oh. Okay. Hang on a sec. I was wrong. I was wrong about something. There's only one trash can that will shake on any random day, and that's the one we want for the encounter we're trying to get. There we go. So now we're going to make our way to a different section of the Lost Hotel, which can be accessed by heading north here and getting into a fight that I forgot we would. I'm gonna switch to Al. Go ahead and switch Al in. Oh, and I should actually redo the team order. Oh, Desi just hit level 44. Now this is dangerous. I am really glad we had that berry, because we don't actually have our psychic immune Pokemon on the team. Okay, that could have gone just really badly overall. And this, folks, is why it's important to move slowly and steadily and not run into random battles with Pokemon that can hit super effectively into everything that you have on the team. In other news, I am going to give Al Black Sludge back. The skaters here aren't trainers. The punk people are. Oh, and we got a smoke ball. That's helpful, actually. Now we are probably going to have to save scum a little bit in order to get through this. And once again, I have walked into a battle that I haven't properly arranged my team for. What is wrong with me? Okay, they have a Pangoro and a Garbodor. Neither is insanely problematic for us, but we're not especially good into them either. I think our best bet is to double down on the Pangoro. I guess we are pretty good into the Pangoro. Oof. Desi, and then Ollie, if you would be so kind as to swap. We'll just swap you out for Poison Ivan because he's more defensive. Okay. So the garbage can just past these two should have something in it every day. Yep, see how it's shaking? I'm gonna go ahead and do some quick healing up. And now we're gonna save. Because we might wind up getting an item when we open this, and if that happens, we're just going to soft reset rather. I forgot to make a save state. Okay, so we're going to make a quick save state here. And then we'll open this up, and we've got our next encounter. There we go. We'll start with a quick ball. It's the safest option. Oh, we got a critical capture. Hey, I'll take that. Huh. Now the question is, I guess since Trubbish is garbage, what's the scientific name for plastic? Looks like it is polyethylene. That is the most common plastic type. So yeah, polyethyl E-N-E, just enough room. And we'll call her, I'm not sure if I want to call her Polly or Ethel. I don't know, we'll think on it. We'll think on your name. We'll think on your nickname for a bit. Is there anything else useful we should get while we're here in the Lost Hotel? I know there are a couple of items, but we already got... Let's see, we already got the smoke ball. And one of the TMs. I don't actually think that we can get TM95 or the Twisted Spoon. So I don't think we have all 4 roller skate skills. Huh. You know what? We're just gonna go ahead and duck out of here, and if we find that we need something from here, then we'll come back. But after that whole deal, we are actually now prepared to go back for another encounter that we haven't gotten yet. Once we grab a couple of things from here on Route 15. I wonder what ability polyethylene has. I don't know that either of the possible abilities was that much better than any of the others, but it's always a curiosity, you know. To be entirely honest, several of the Pokemon that we're getting right now are likely going to spend their time just sitting in the box for the most part, unless something dies. And of course, we're going to do our utmost to avoid anything dying. That's preferable for our purposes. Oh, heck, we got paralyzed. Just enough. There we go. Oh, where's the paralyze heal? There you are. I don't think I have cherry berries even now. Like, I genuinely think that I've made it this far in the game without ever picking up a cherry berry. Nope. Luckily, we do have a grass type with us. And while Beartic is a pretty awful matchup for Ivan, we also have a water type with us. And we have a bug type to pivot through in case we get hit by confusion on the switch-in. So that's just annoying. And you know what? While I'm in here... Yeah, okay, we got swaggered. Now we should be safe from getting hit by swagger again. Hypothetically, sometimes AI gets weird. And that gets us in without getting confused. To finish it off... Oh wow, I really thought we were going to finish that off. At least the AI is behaving itself and... Oh, that was almost really bad. Like, it got the critical hit, so clearly a crit wouldn't kill, but... Oh, I stopped breathing there for a second. Luckily, we've got all of this nice fresh water to heal up, and we managed to get out of that without dying a painful and completely unnecessary death. So yeah, as I think y'all can tell, I'm just trying to grab some of the various items that are hidden throughout this area. There we go. I think that was the last one. So now we're gonna hop on Desi, fly our way over. Oh geez, I keep missing the town. Fly our way over to Dendemil. And let's see what Dendemil has to offer. And yes, I'll take a dozen Moo Moo Milk because that is a fantastic healing item. Very cheap healing in the grand scheme of things. There seems to be something further to the left here, but I don't think it can be... Maybe it's up by the Pokemon Center? Okay, it is. I was starting to think that there was a way to get down to the river in this area, which I'm almost certain isn't the case. And Trevor just asked us to visit the Frost Cavern, which we will do. Not because Trevor asked us, but because, well, our next encounter. One of our next encounters is there. But before we do that, there is actually one encounter that we can get elsewhere. And it's not where you probably think. Okay, let's see. Anything of note in this house? Oh, and we got the TM for Facade. I think that girl in that house that was asking us about Rain Dance might give us like a weather extending rock. If we have the right TM for a certain weather. So now we're going to go in here real quick and change up the team for a moment. I think I'll leave Ollie on the team, but add Mephi. and also swap out Pendra for Phil Bates. And now to head down to Route 16 again and reject the battle with the Sky Trainer, because there are a few things that we can get on this route. Including the rare candy. And jumped by a Pumpkaboo. And into a battle that I didn't mean to get into. Yay. Go for a poison jab. I still don't have any electric coverage on the team, which is actually kind of surprising. Once I get Haunter, I should probably get some electric coverage. Oh, that wasn't what I meant to do. But it's enough for a 2-hit. Oh, it's not enough for a 2-hit. Surf might actually be stronger since we're in the rain, but oh well. This one is not exactly the most threatening Pokemon ever. It's trying to avoid you. Let's finish it up with Flamethrower. Now there is at least one very dangerous fight in this area where we could wind up against someone with a Gardevoir in what I believe is a double battle. Oh, yep. A Gardevoir and an Alakazam. Obviously, if we can avoid that battle, we should. But if we can't, then we want to play nice and careful. I have a bit of a plan, because we do need to get to a certain location in this route for what we're trying to do here. So much of this route is covered in long grass. I don't really know why they insist on bringing long grass in at this stage of the game. Like, I get that it requires you to slow down and not use your bike, which allows them to make the... And by forcing the player to slow down, it lets them make the most out of the world. They don't have to really stretch out the spaces in the later portions of the game. Because I know that backfired for some people when they were playing Hoenn. But despite that, I really feel like they should just incorporate long grass into a few more areas early game. I feel like it's a better solution. come on, stop shoving these Pumpkaboo in my face. And yes, I'm aware that I can repel to avoid them, but repels cost money. I'm trying to be at least vaguely smart with my money. Would just stop. I swear, I don't get this many encounters when I'm trying to level up my Pokemon. Mephi, if you would be so kind. Oh, we got the ghost type. That doesn't really matter that much. Because we're fighting a Pumpkaboo. Ooh, and we got a Lumberry. We already have those, but I'm more than happy to have more. Looks like there's a space back here through this grass. And it's just a potion. Now let's see here. I am triggering a lot of these unnecessary battles just because I would rather get them out of the way now than accidentally bump into them if we have to come back through here. Phil Bates, would you mind taking care of this? And that's why, because it throws around Rain Dance and water moves. And we're immune to water moves. So yeah, those two are the trainers with the double battle that I would very much like to avoid, if at all possible. Except I actually think it's a better idea just to fight them real quick. They've both got psychic types. But do I have the TM for Protect? Sort by name. I do have the TM for Protect, and I have room for it on Phil Bates. So here's what we're actually gonna do. We're gonna drop Bulldoze. And we're gonna pair Phil Bates with our Dark type. Because neither of them can hit our Dark type especially hard. We're also going to give Phil Bates There's the expert belt. Hold on. Sort by type. I'm gonna give Phil Bates the expert belt because I don't think we have the dark type. Oh wait, we do have the dark type boosting move, or the dark type boosting item. Okay, with this setup, we should actually be pretty much free to destroy these two. Now, I am going to take it off fast mode to avoid some of the issues that could come up here. So, First turn, Phil Bates is just going to protect. Now he heavily baits psychic type moves, so odds are the other two will double target him. But that's not really necessary for the plan, it's just helpful. Next we're going to do a poison jab into Gardevoir. What's the team order? Okay, Mephi goes first. That's actually very helpful. That will... We've won the battle at this point. The only really questionable thing at this point was whether Phil Bates could one-shot the Alakazam with Sucker Punch. I believe it can, but I could be wrong. But now, since Mephi apparently outspeeds, even if Sucker Punch doesn't get the one-shot... Okay, it's not even using an attack move, but even if Sucker Punch didn't get the one-shot, Night Slash would. Okay. And while that was a completely optional battle and might have turned out to be a poor decision on my part to go through with it, I would rather take care of it now than accidentally stumble into it later when I don't have a favorable team set up, because at that point I would literally just have to sacrifice something. And that's assuming that Mephi got in the first turn. Otherwise it would turn into an absolute bloodbath. Okay, yeah, let's keep leading with Phil Bates for the moment. Oh, and it's a bunch of Murkrow. I really expected to use a Murkrow in my height lock a lot more than I actually turned out to. I just didn't actually wind up needing it that much. Now, Phil, if you would be so kind as to take... You know what? We're actually going to give you the Expert Belt as your standing item, I think. Where is that thing? Oh, duh, it got bumped to the bottom. Phil Bates, if you would be so kind as to take the Expert Belt, and we're going to give you back some nice coverage. We're going to give you Rock Tomb. No, you know what? We'll stick with Dig. No, I'm indecisive, but I am going to go with Bulldoze. Oh, why can't I make decisions? Oh, but you know what? We have access to the move reminder now because we hit Dendemil Town. So yeah, we can totally replace Revenge without having to worry about whether we'll need it for a battle that I haven't read about yet. So in that case, Rock Tomb. Phil Bates, you now randomly have 3 different a full moveset of speed control, as well as ridiculously good all-around coverage, but we're going to ignore that. And here is where we were trying to get this entire time. We've gotten the Super Rod. And I think there has to be an item or something. Ah, probably right here. Oh, we got a repel. I'll take it. And now that we have the Super Rod, we're actually going to be able to get one more quick encounter. I might even call it a night. Ooh, a fist plate. That'll be good for Phil Bates. So now, Desi, it's time to fly us to the final destination on this little trip of ours. Oh, and I had you fly us to the wrong final destination. Luckily, we don't need our HM slave around for much longer. If we just go ahead and deselect the good rod and register the super rod, now that we're here in Solage City, it's time to get an encounter that I have been looking forward to very literally since the beginning of this run. And I need to slow it down, or I won't be able to reel in time. You know, at one point Flygon HG suggested that rare captures might actually be harder to reel in, like you get less time to do it. And I think he might be right. So that's a Relicanth. We don't need that. I am going to take it out real quick, just because I want those berries behind it. And it occurs to me that I absolutely should have checked what moves it had before that. Hang on. Okay. Let's hop over on Cerebi to Solage City. Fishing with the Super Rod. What does the level 35 Relicanth have? Okay, the only rock move it has is Rock Tomb, which shouldn't, even with a crit, that shouldn't be able to take down Desi. All we need to do is get off one air cutter to knock down those berries. We will fall asleep now, but we can switch out. Sadly, we do have to take out the Relicanth and, as a side effect, get the experience before we can get the berries. We can't get them just by running away. Hey, Phil Bates leveled up, and we got a Figgy Berry. I don't actually think that's what we wanted from that. There are a couple of rare type resist berries that you can get in those areas. Come on. Okay. Listen here, you little... Hold up. I have an idea. As frustrating as this might be, I can update my I can change the speed up setting so that instead it becomes a slowdown setting, which will give me more time during the fishing quick time event. It'll slow this down a little, but it'll make sure that I don't miss those short captures. So right now we're running at half speed. I probably could have made do with 75%, but this shouldn't actually take too long. I'm pretty sure that the Pokemon we're looking for is 35% encounter rate with the Super Rod. Really? We got you before the Pokemon that we're looking for? And of course you have berries behind you, which means I'm gonna actually defeat you. What's funny is Twister is a move that can also knock berries down from trees, which means we've just learned that it cannot knock down that the wild Pokemon can't be tricked into knocking down the berries for us. I don't really know why I went for Fly instead of Acrobatics, but we're gonna just kind of disregard that. I do love the animation of Crobat dropping from the sky. And we got a Lepa Berry. Okay. Come on. Give us something toxic. Bring it. Where are you? Nope, this is a Relicanth. I don't know why I'm going into this still on slow mode. can do this. Come on, you stupid fish. We can do this if it will just give us the encounter that we're looking for. I do appreciate how there is significantly less randomness in this mini game, in the fishing mini game for like Sword and Shield. Come on, bite the line. Barter. Bite it. I've got Black Sludge. You'll have it as a held item for a long period of time. Probably almost the entire time I train you. Yeah, it's a 30% chance to encounter. Seadra is a 5% chance. Why does this fishing minigame have to be so agonizingly frustrating? This is a 30% chance to get the one Pokemon here that has enough toxicity to join my League of Legends team. It's a joke. It's a toxicity joke. Oh man, I'm explaining jokes now. This is what I've come to. The descent into madness is happening faster than I thought. To be honest, I didn't think that there would be a descent into madness. I figured in the first couple encounters I would get the Pokemon that we're here for, and then we'd be done. But just stop it. I don't even know what the purple trees in this area give. Oh, that must be pink. There are no purple trees in Solage City. Pecha, Persum, and Mago. Yeah, we don't need any of those. So for those... So, yeah. We've just got to keep going with the slow motion thing to make sure that I don't miss quick time events. So I do think there may be a bit of a difficulty curve applied to the time given to reel in. Why? You shouldn't be showing up this month, this much. You're only a 65% encounter, like about half the time you should be showing up. But you've shown up all but once. I've gotten like 10 encounters. You know, starting to think that the Kokiri Forest theme might be part of what is driving me to insanity. Yes! It's the Pokemon! It's the one that we're here for. It is the Pokemon that actually inspired this whole dang run. Dragalge. And before we try and catch it, we're actually going to pivot into Desi to use Air Cutter. Oof. How much damage do we take? Okay, yeah, we're pretty safe from that at least. We'll pivot through Desi. Yeah, because Water Pulse is probably gonna... Surprisingly, it doesn't have... So, Dragalge is a water and... or is a poison and dragon type. It evolves from the poison water type Skrelp, which I've actually used a lot in a few challenges, but in those same challenges I haven't been able to use Dragalge, because one of them was my attempt at water types only in Pokemon Y. And obviously, once it's Dragalge, it isn't a water type anymore. And the other one was my height lock. And obviously, Dragalge is a bit taller than 2 feet. Okay. Most toxic sea plant. Looks like the water hemlock is a reasonable option. Oh, no. Water hemlock is just a flower. Really? Okay, get this, folks. While seaweeds are classified as microalgae, there are currently no known poisonous or toxic seaweeds. You know what? I'm just gonna accept water hemlock. It sounds watery, sounds planty, even if it's completely wrong. Hang on. Alright, Dragalge, another female Pokemon. So, Secuta maculata. Yeah, we can call you Lata. And there we go. And honestly, folks, I think that might be it for today. There are other places that we can go. And other things we can try and get done. But it's getting pretty late here, and I still want to hit the gym. And I think we've made some good progress here. The main thing that I wanted... Oh, wait, you know what? There is actually one more thing I want to do. Desi, if you would be so kind as to fly us back to Dendemil Town. Let's see here. If we could grab you. That was a bit of a lag spike. We're actually going to briefly go north. And luckily, I do think that we can pretty reliably... Yeah, so this Mamoswine normally gives us rides through the next route. But unfortunately, we can't ride it right now because... it's upset about something happening in Frost Cavern. So we're going to go and visit Frost Cavern. We'll grab this ice heal, because why not? And then we're going to run back and forth. Why, you might ask? Because Frost Cavern is home to one last encounter. For today. I think there are still a couple of encounters further along in the game. And of course we skipped Route 14 in case any of our... because we wanted to fire up some Dupes Clause. Okay, looks like Horde encounters won't be the best strategy here because none of them are poison. So yay, we get to run around trying for a 16% encounter rate Pokemon. I'm actually curious. What are the odds here? 1 divided by 16%. On average, it should take 6.25 encounters to run into our Haunter. I should actually think about what I want in the front of the team when we encounter this guy. So it'll be level 38 to 40, which means it will have Dream Eater, but it won't have Hypnosis, so Dream Eater is useless. It'll have Payback, Shadow Ball, and Shadow Punch. I think it's pretty obvious that Mephi is the Pokemon of choice for the lead place here. Actually, yeah. Lead Mephi. Okay, that was 6 Pokemon. Let's see if we'll get this thing under odds. Nope. That's okay. This isn't nearly as weird as how long it took us to get that Dragalge. And the fact that we can actually zoom around here instead of having to deal with a slow minigame that I've deliberately made slower helps. Oh, there's a Jinx. I've actually wanted to use Jinx in a run many times before, but I've never had a good opportunity to do so. I wonder what the prospects for like a psychic-only run through Fire Red or Leaf Green would be. Trouble is, I don't think you can get a Psychic type or even a Pokemon that evolves into one until after the I guess technically before the second gym. You get a shot at Abra. I don't think there's anything else. And obviously you can't actually use Abra if you can't switch train it up to level. So unless I'm forgetting something. There we go! We've got our ghost. And yeah, we're gonna open with a quick ball. If that doesn't work, we'll start chucking dusk balls. Really? We got the special defense drop right off the bat? We're probably going to... Yeah, I don't like how much damage that's doing now. So we're going to switch into Ivan, who is reasonably specially bulky. Not crazy special bulk, but enough to get off a sleep powder. I wonder if this AI is dumb enough to think that Dream Eater is the right move to go for because we're poison type and not dark. And obviously, oh wait, you know what? I can think of a toxic ghost. And I'm spelling it wrong. Obviously, Peeves is a poltergeist in the Harry Potter series, but I do think that kind of works. But obviously, I won't find something for scientific name for ghosts. But now, that is where I think we'll call it a day. So I just want to take a moment and look at what's happened here and try and ignore the fact that my camera has decided I deserve to be blurry. But look at this for a moment. So we're going to deposit... We have added we have added 5 new teammates, 3 of which are likely to become main staples of the team, and 2 of which are going to be hanging back in the box for the most part to make sure that they're available in case we have some bad losses with other team members. Specifically, Skorupi, Leu, the Skorupi, is pretty much guaranteed to be a staple because she evolves into the Dark-type Drapion, which is fantastically bulky. It's very hard at the loss of some of the coverage that Mephi provides. Lada, the Dragalge, has Poison Touch, which isn't ideal because I don't really plan on using physical moves, so that kind of sucks, but we'll accept it. Hang on. Oh, well. At least Amanita the Fungus has an ideal nature. That's kind of cool. But yeah, Leu, battle armor, and defense boosting, which is actually pretty good. I just hate to see the drop in speed on what's generally a decently fast Pokemon, at least. But we'll probably focus on attack and HP for Leu's training. Oh, modest nature on Polyethylene. I still don't know whether I want to call you Poly or Ethel, sorry. That's actually pretty good. Most poison type moves that it gets, including Sludge Bomb, which it apparently already has, are special. Yeah, overall not bad. The stench ability isn't great. I think it had a better option, but oh well. Lada, the Dragalge, Poison Touch isn't great. I would have preferred Poison Point, which I believe is its other ability. But, you know what? We can deal with that. Actually, I want to check something real quick. What are Dragalge's possible abilities? Okay, yeah, for normal encounters, it's gonna be Poison Point or Poison Touch. Honestly, neither one is crazy good, so I'm not that bothered. Its hidden ability is fantastic, but it's kind of whatever. It's more of a special tank than anything else. But yeah, Lada the Dragalge is a very specially bulky option who will help shore up our team's defenses. Admittedly, the minus special defense nature is annoying, but we can get around that. And, ooh, minus attack on Peeves the Haunter. That's pretty good. Having Shadow Ball already as just a move that it had when we caught it is also very good. We'll probably put Dazzling Gleam on it as coverage and maybe Thunderbolt. I'm fairly certain that we're going to be putting Thunderbolt on Lada. And then we're really approaching the point where we have most of the Pokemon that we're going to use for this run. But yeah, Peeves the Ghastly will be a bit of a backup into the Psychic type gym in case we need something speedy to come in and knock it out. And I will look into figuring out if we can evolve this thing. If not, we can work around that. It's still a really good Pokemon, even if it isn't Gengar. And Ghost coverage will be helpful in at least a couple of battles coming up. So yeah, I think that's about where we're gonna stop. Next time we play this, I think we'll start by doing some training of those guys, getting them up to a better level for the team. And that'll alleviate some of the pressure we're under right now with I'm sorry, well. The blur is here to stay for the outro. Overall, I think we did good today. We made it through a couple of dangerous battles unscathed. And I hope to see y'all next time. If you haven't dropped a follow, please do so that you can catch me next time I'm on. And thanks for watching. Bye-bye.